Hey everybody, it's your hospitality friend Glenn here, and I'm excited because I'm back at Venetian, which I think after the last year or so has become my second home. And today I got Karin Davis, VP of Sales, with me, and we're celebrating, I think, 25 years of Venetian history. And where you're going in the future. Goodness, 25 years. What happened?
It went by so fast.
So fast.
So fast.
I remember coming here in the late 1990s, and the Sands had closed, and the original tower was still there, and there was an airplane parked in front of it. And then I went to go see the movie Con Air, and apparently they knocked down the old building as part of the finale for that. Then I sat back and waited a year and a half, 2 years, and then the original Venetian property opened. Of course, we're here in Palazzo, which opened a number of years later. That's pretty amazing that these 25 years have gone by so
fast. It's been such a journey, though, just to see it evolve over the years since 1999.
Yeah. Particularly, this hotel, I think, really redefined meetings and conventions in all of Las Vegas. For those of you who don't know, the founder of the company is Sheldon Adelson, created an event called Comdex, and then bought the convention center that was here, and then wound up building all of this around it and creating like the modern convention business here. And that's kind of driven you folks as you've gone. In its current configuration, we've got like 7,000 rooms here, and y'all are trying to do a giant upgrade to the facilities over there, but you're all so busy. How do you get those things done?
Well, we had to do it a little bit at a time over the summer. July and August, when it's slow, is when we're squeezing in our renovation. Our property renovation's happening throughout the year,
right?
Over $1 billion, but our space refresh at $188 million space renovation. And it's the color palette. It's going to look a lot like this: creams, white, platinums, luxury Italian.
Yeah, what I love is we're in a place called Stella Studio. So it's not just conference rooms and ballrooms. You're trying to mix things up in order, I think, to better appeal towards meeting planners who are looking for something a little bit different.
It's exactly right. And what we found is they want their brand to be able to come to life in our space. So this new color palette is going to be just amazing for them to be able to get that done.
So what's that process like, going through all of that to make sure you are really in the meetings industry zeitgeist when all of this is done?
We want to stay true to our heritage, our luxury Italian theme. I mean, that's our core of our business. I mean, our layout's perfect. I mean, our space is in the middle. Nothing was added on. We're built around our meeting space. We don't need to change a thing, but our space, is going to be refreshed and modernized, technology, color palette. And we're building a speakeasy lounge within the space where a CEO or your top customers, you can grab them from the exhibit floor and bring them right up to level 3 and grab a drink in a residential feel. And it's going to be the state-of-the-art luxury.
I think that is really cool. And I'm seeing other players in town claiming they're going to be doing something like that. One of the areas that we find when I go to all these conferences throughout the country, and I go to hospitality conferences, obviously, is that people always need these meeting rooms aside. And they've typically had, just meet in our hotel room, and that could be awkward. So it sounds like you're really creating something new that meets the existing need, but makes it more professional instead of having to go up to people's rooms.
Exactly. And time is money. You can't be walking up to your room when you what is it? To meet a customer.
I know. To get here for this interview, I left 4 hours ago from my room. I'm just kidding. It was actually pretty close. But
it's a 5-minute walk. Yeah. Being able to pull them off the exhibit floor, just up the escalator to level 3 in 2 minutes is really going to create a convenience factor. And easy for a CEO or a top customer to be able to just meet up there.
So what are people looking for when it comes to powering their meetings today when it comes to partnering with a company such as the Venetian Palazzo?
I mean, our building is an integrated resort. We're 7,000 rooms, 2.25 million square feet of meeting space, restaurants, casino. There's always something to do here. You don't have to leave the building. You can have a show of 10,000, 20,000, or 20 people, and you can find something to do for appeal to every audience, which is our claim to fame.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm going to put in a link. I did a behind-the-scenes video all about how they put on conventions serving groups from like 5, 10 to the 10, 20,000 that she was talking about. So be sure to check that out below. But what is kind of the state of meetings here in Las Vegas, generally speaking? Because I was looking at some of the news, and it looks like just people-wise, you're going to have the best summer ever.
Record-breaking, stronger than ever. Convention business is picking up strong. Customers are picking up over their blocks. You need overflow rooms. People are dying to be face-to-face. They were cooped up for quite a while. They want to be face-to-face. They recognize the value of face-to-face. They're dying to come out and see these shows.
It really bothers me that people were saying that face-to-face meetings are completely over back in the day. And I think, humanity has this way of whatever condition we're in, we think it's permanent. And it's never either going to go back to the way it was or move forward in a better kind of direction. So I knew all along that this stuff would come back. We are social creatures and we need to be together. And one of the things that I've been seeing from my friends at Nolan, for example, is that more people are coming to these meetings. Not necessarily the giant ones that have 10,000, but those smaller meetings are getting bigger and bigger. Are you seeing that reflected here?
Definitely. We're seeing groups grow that were maybe 20 rooms going up to 100, that maybe 1,000 going up to 2,000. So definitely seeing that trend of consolidation with meetings and people just craving to be in front of their peers.
So I want to learn a little bit about how you put together the puzzle of putting together all the different groups and the space that they need in order for you to maximize the space that you have without having to turn anybody away.
That's a very good question.
Yeah.
With 2.25 million square feet, I think we would have some availability, but
Right.
we do. But it is a puzzle piece. We have to make sure everybody has time for load in, load out, and that the experience goes flawless. But in Vegas, we have a lot of labor. We have a lot of support. We can do things twice as fast. Shocking, right, Vegas, but as other cities. So, I mean, that's how we're able to do the back-to-back meetings that, Vegas can only do.
As we were sitting here getting prepared to have our conversation today, one of the things that came up is a group ended at midnight last night, and another group started their move-in at 2 a.m. So you had 2 hours to pull everything down and then get started for this major conference I'm going to be here for at that hour. That's crazy logistics in order to be able to make that work.
It's pretty typical for Vegas.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about what is it, though, that groups are specifically looking for now that they're getting back, they're meeting? What do your meeting planners that you work with every day really see this as a successful event when they partner with you here?
I mean, just like any business proposition, they have a return on investment for their show that they have to achieve. So every company has their goals and objectives. If it's the sales kickoff, it might be the leadership message coming through, get everybody excited. If it's a customer event, we had, Dell World in one of our large shows in last week. I mean, they have a heavy customer presence and they have a track their return on investment from the show, and then they get everybody jazzed. They roll out their new products. I mean, it's a perfect platform to achieve all their objectives.
So what is the strategy like for connecting with groups and getting them to come here? I know you're not just sitting by and answering the phone.
No, definitely not. I'd say it's about long-term partnerships. I mean, we've had an opportunity to have some of these groups in the building for 15 plus years. Wow. And we've established that trust and confidence in our experience here in the building that's just unmatched.
Yeah.
I mean, they could go to another I call it a shiny new penny,
Right.
And, they may have an operations team that's been doing it for a year. Or do you want someone that has the foundation of 20 plus years of serving large or small meetings throughout Vegas?
Right. And one of the things I love is when an event that I attend comes here every year, for example, because I know what to expect. I've got my routine down. I know exactly how long it takes me to get to any rooms from my guest room and all of that kind of stuff. So to me, that confidence is important. And there are some places that in this town where the meeting facilities are so far away that if you forget something at your room, it's like, I'll be back in 2 hours. And I'm barely using hyperbole there.
And our size helps. With 7,000 rooms, you might be in another city with 20 or 30 properties.
Yeah.
Transportation, it just gets a bit disjointed. In our building, everybody's together.
Yeah. So are you going out and around and meeting with groups, going to different conventions based on this? So how does that work for you guys?
We travel to industry events, MPI, CVN. We go to site. We go to all of the industry travel events. And we also do strategic appointments. We know the large shows, so we're going to see those customers. And then, of course, everybody's out here all the time. So lots of entertaining in Vegas, which is the most fun.
It's really amazing how Las Vegas and that East Coast city has become really the two major places for conventions. I particularly like coming here much more than going to Orlando, for example, because everything's much more connected and closer to each other, right? So I think a lot of people feel that way. Plus, I'm seeing it's more affordable than going to a lot of markets. And generally speaking, in this city, the amount of meetings that have taken place has exploded big time. Yes. So are you finding you're able to find a lot of new groups that haven't been to Las Vegas that are now dipping their toes in the water? Because I know a lot of folks are like, oh, Las Vegas, we'll lose all our people. And, they think nobody then in their groups have self-control.
Well, a lot more people come when it's even if you lose a penny, you're still ahead.
Yeah.
But no, I think we have a lot of base of existing business, and then we have new business that's coming for the first time. They want to be in the big leagues.
Yeah.
They see the reInvent, they see the big shows out here, and they're like, aspire to be that. So they're trying to come out to Vegas to be, the best of the best, like for us.
So what made you decide to go into sales in this kind of universe?
Well, I started out in a restaurant business, and I was from Boston, Massachusetts, and moved out to Vegas to go to UNLV. Didn't know a soul.
Right.
Started out as an admin, and I worked my way up. I've been out here 30 years. At Venetian, 16 of those 30, and I just have loved every minute of it, and couldn't imagine working anywhere else or in any other city.
So what was it like when you were trying to build your career in this town over the last few decades? That must have been quite a challenge for you.
I wouldn't call it a challenge. I wouldn't trade it.
I find every day in my career a horrible challenge, so good for you.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I got to meet great people. I have kids that are 18, and I've known some of my customers longer than my children.
Yeah.
And so it's been a fantastic experience, just building relationships over the years, working with my peers, getting to know their families, and, just being able to move up was a bonus on top of that.
Yeah, what do you love about being sales here?
The people, the people I work with, the experience I get to be around. I learn every day. I'm never bored, never dull. Even after 16 years, like literally every day I learn something.
Wow.
Something new.
That's pretty amazing.
Exciting.
Yeah, it sure is. So what advice do you have for younger people that are interested in getting into the hospitality industry? It's like, my whole mantra is educate, empower, entertain. I want young people to be passionate about this business. And I see how happy you are finding this business.
That's a very good question. I think we need to do more as an industry to build the passion around what we do. I think the perception is we have a lot of hours, especially in operations, but it's a dream job. You get to travel, you get to meet customers, you get to have interesting conversations. You get to do some of the best things in the world.
Also, one of the things that really rubs me the wrong way is everybody says there's so many hours. I mean, I work all the time, but that's okay because I love what I do. And if you are in an industry that you're super passionate about, no matter how many hours you're working, it doesn't feel like work to me, at least.
That's so true. I feel the same way.
Yeah.
I'm excited to come to work every day. I can't wait to see my peers, my customers, like they're family to me.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So what do we need to know before we wrap up about where the Venetian is going in the future as it pertains to making groups excel at throwing events?
I mean, we're unstoppable with this over $1 billion hotel renovation, 188 million space refresh. I mean, we're going to be unstoppable.
$1 billion.
I mean, not only do we have the foundations of the best operational experience in the building, but we have the product to match, which we've always had. No long walks to the space, like you mentioned, and we just are on top of the world. We're in a great position right now.
Yeah, I love it. All right, so I want to thank you all for being here. Thanks for watching us. Make sure you text the word hotel to 66866. That's hotel to 66866 to get our newsletter. I'll be here with more reports from the Venetian. So thanks for being here. So for Karin and myself, see you all later. Bye.
Bye.